everyone, John McCracken here, aka The Lone Biker. I'm going to talk to you today about what you should take in holiday kit-wise if you're planning on cycling abroad. So let's start with clothing. Now, amount of clothing you should take, it kind of really depends. If you're going on a specific cycling holiday and it's maybe 3 or 4 days, take a fresh kit for every day that you're going. If you happen to be going on holiday with your family and you don't know how much or how little you're going to go, if you can fit something for every day and you've got a plan for that, go ahead. If you're putting it in with all the family's clothing, take 1 or 2 bits, especially if you're going in midsummer. Just clean it off after a ride in the shower and hang it out in the balcony to dry. It will be fine. So, if you're going to Spain or one of the Mediterranean countries, or maybe the Canary Islands in your spring/autumn time, it's going to be a temperature similar to a really good summer's day in the UK. So I'm going to start simply with socks. Don't take your thick merino socks that you'll be wearing at this time of year normally. Take your nice thin cycling socks. Your feet are going to be sweating a lot and you don't want them to finish with like 2 bags of wet salt. So first of all, thin socks. Next kit you should take is a pair of gloves. Now, I made the mistake of going on a family holiday, trying to save some space, and didn't take a pair of gloves. They don't take up much space. Now, the reason it was a mistake was because you are sweating a lot more, and in here, in my hands, I ended up with massive blisters. So that was a mistake I'm never going to make again. So stick in a pair of gloves. It's always handy. Shorts can be rinsed off, but take your summer pair. I like a pair with a wee pocket, a wee cargo pocket now. These are my Rafa Breve shorts. Like to keep the phone in the pocket there. It's always a good idea. But take as many pairs as you need if you can. If not, remember, take 2, maybe 3 pairs and rinse a pair off, stick them out, give them a good scrub in the shower, rinse them off, and they will dry quickly in the balcony. Next, your jersey. Now, I take my summer jerseys, nice and thin. Just be careful, sticking in one of the merino jerseys, maybe not the worst thing in the world. I've been lucky whenever I've went cycling in spring and autumn time that it has been like a nice summer's day. But you do get the odd day here and there where maybe the winds come in and maybe a wee, just thinner merino jersey would do the job. Don't take your big winter jersey, it's going to be pointless. But stick in a gilet. It's maybe worth having one in your back pocket. The one thing I would say is when I went to Tenerife and climbed Mount Teide, you are at a couple of 1,000 metres. The sun can be shining, but the wind chill can cool you down when you're up the top. And see, for the descent, you'll need a gilet. The first time I did it, I took that advice and took my gilet, and it was fantastic. Second time, last year when I went to Tenerife and went up Teide, coming down, I was absolutely freezing coming down that hill. So I wish I'd had a gilet. So if you're heading to Tenerife, especially up the big climb out Mount Teide, take a gilet with you. Now, this may be advice specific to me, but I'm aware of the cycling cap when I'm at home. I do take them on holiday with me. I wore them in the spring and the autumn time, and they are perfect. Mainly because I've not got so much natural cover up there through the gaps and the vents in the helmet, so I don't want to burn my head. If a cap's not your thing, you've always got your buff. It's a wee bit thinner to wear. I tend to take these in the summertime because these are a little bit thinner, so if I'm thicker, sorry. So if I'm cycling in the summertime, I will take one of these. They can be taken off, sometimes I still get too hot and I need to take it off. Easily stuffed into the pocket or put over the wrist, but it's always good advice. Remember your sunscreen.
Wear sunscreen. I could offer you only one tip for the future. Sunscreen would be it.
Yeah, It's not as warm as it is in the summer if you go in spring and autumn, but you are still out on the bike for 6, 8, 9, 10 hours a day. Take the sunscreen. You don't want to be burnt on your first day and have it ruin your holiday. My advice is get the kids' sunscreen. It tends to be a bit more longer lasting. Remember, you are going to be sweating buckets in that bike. And the kids' sun cream tends to be designed for kids going in and out the pool all the time and not needing this put on every 5 minutes. So kids factor 50 is perfect. And might look a bit stupid, but put it on before you put your clothes on. It's a lot easier. Now, my next piece of advice is take your own bottles. It might seem like it's taking a lot of room up in your suitcase, and most of the time if you're renting a bike there, the bike shop will have bottles you can buy. But I'm about reducing the plastic waste, so I take my own. And the other thing that's handy for is I like to take my own energy gels. So if there's something you specifically take, whether it's energy gels or electrolyte tablets, the bottle's perfect way to carry it. You don't want one of these bursting in your suitcase, because we know how sticky the gel can get. Stick it in your bottle, screw a lid on, and it's protecting that. I take my own 2 bottles with me every year. And advice when you're out there, petrol stations, I always stop at petrol stations to buy refills. Even in this country, because you can see your bike at all times, and it's easy in and out to get a bottle of water or something to fill it up. But there, take your own bottles, save plastic, don't buy more that you're going to bring home. Now, the technology that you're going to take with you. Now, first of all, get your bike computer. I take my Wahoo. This is my Roam, which is my favourite one, and I usually take it. Sometimes I stick a spare in. I've got my Bolt. I sometimes take my Bolt as well, just in case, but I've never had any problems. I've never needed a secondary computer. Although one time, the first time I did Mount Teddy, my Garmin messed up, which is why I went to Wahoo, because that was a special ride wasted. So, take your bike computer, and your bike shop, when you're out there, if requested, probably will give you a mount if you want, but I always take my own. I take my out front mount. This is a spare that I have. So it's worth sticking a mount in for all the weight and space that it'll take. Stick one in just in case they don't have one compatible to your computer. I always take my wee cadence sensor. It's light, it's easy to carry, you can stick it in a bag or the bottle as you did before. Just remember to take it off your bike when you come back out, but the shop are usually good at checking all these things out. Take my heart rate monitor, and again, remember you're going to sweat a lot more when you're out there. Give it a rinse off every day, it'll dry quickly, and even if it's still a bit damp when you put it off, you'll not notice it, but just keep it working because this will be salty. And remember, take a charging cable to remember to charge all your devices. You don't want to be stuck with a device that you can't charge. Now, when I'm in Spain and I go out on a ride, I do take a wee portable charger with me, depending on the distance you're doing. If you're doing one of the big days like I've done when I'm abroad, it's good to have a wee charger. You don't know where you're going to be stuck, you're going to be headed, you're going to not know where you are, you may be using the maps in your phone a lot more, you may be using the maps and all the functions in this a lot more, so a charger is a handy thing to have. Take your phone out on your ride. We all tend to take our phone out on a ride anyway because we're taking pictures, etc. as a memento of the day, we want to be stuck, but when you're abroad, you don't want to be stuck anywhere and not be able to call back to the hotel or your friends or who you're with or for emergency services or whatever, so stick the phone in your pocket. The one bit of advice, there'll be services in different islands, but in Mallorca, there's a service called Mallorca Cycle Rescue. They're the same company that do the Mallorca Cycle Shuttle and the Mallorca Bike Photos, but I would advise using them. It's a great insurance. I think it was like €4 a day, which if you're only going out for 4 or 5 days, is not that much, and they will come and rescue you anywhere on the island if you fail, as in my knee, or I've crashed, or blah blah, or the bike fails in any way, and they will take you back to the next bike shop or your hotel, whichever you prefer. It's always worth it. Most of the bike shops that you hire will come and rescue you too, but only in the event of the bike failing, because obviously they want to protect their 4 or 5 grand's worth of bike. But it's worth just having that wee bit of extra insurance. They will give you a phone number, store it in your phone, and it's just that wee bit of safety there. Never needed it, but it's always handy to have. Just gives you that wee bit of assurance that you're going to be safe. So again, if you are carrying a charger or a wee cable or some extra gels or whatever, it's always worth having something just to carry that wee bit extra on your bike. I don't like a lot of stuff in my back pockets. Most of the rental bikes will have a pump on the frame and a wee saddle bag. But when I go abroad and cycle, I like to take just the wee stem, or top tube bag, sorry. And it just allows you to stick in stuff like your charging cable, like your charger, just maybe a gel or something, stick it in there. I like to have that in your bike. Some of you might prefer the bar bag style, but it's worth having, especially if you're sweating in midsummer. You're going to be unzipping that jersey and it's flapping around. You want the air to get in, and it's better not being weighed down by a ton of stuff in your back pockets. So it's worth having these out. I take this in every ride where I go. It's one of those kind of waterproof wallets as well. Just stick my phone in it sometimes if I'm getting extremely sweaty, or it's got the zip compartment inside where I can keep a couple of euros, my credit card, although I do use the Google Pay on my phone, but it's worth just having that in there because you never know with connectivity when you're about. And obviously my stickers, which I put up in all the sides. So worth having one of these as well. It also goes without saying, take your shoes, pick the shoes you're going to be wearing. Now, I take my SPDSLs. Don't worry, I am about to change these cleats, they are a bit worn. I take my SPDSLs because mainly I'm going on the road, but sometimes it's worth, if you're maybe just taking your SPDs, if you're maybe planning on a gravel ride, or getting a bike that's just going to puddle about a wee bit, or you fancy a bit of doing both, it's worth maybe doing that. But choose your shoes and remember to take them. Most of the bike shops, if you're renting a bike, will have the pedals of your choice to put in the bike, so that's worth it. Take your cycling specs. You might think, oh, I'll just double up and wear my sun specs, but that actually can be quite uncomfortable. Your sun specs are not designed to be worn with a helmet. I take these. Now, these came with a case, so they're actually quite handy for travelling because they're protective. You can put your actual specs, if you happen to wear them, or your sun specs as well, into your case, and it'll keep them protected. So you've got 3 things in the one box. And of course, a helmet. Take your helmet when you go, because you don't want to crash. I mean, we all know it's sensible to wear your helmet when you're out on your bike, but be very careful as well. Abroad, some places, the police will actually stop you if you don't have a helmet and fine you, especially in Spain, where it is a legal requirement to wear a helmet, I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, whereas in the UK it's not. But take your helmet. Do you know what? You are on holiday, but you're not indestructible. Please remember that. You're not indestructible, and your talent hasn't of a sudden exploded to pro level. So just be wary of your own ability. Wear the helmet. Be safe. You can only tell the story of a great cycle abroad if you come home from it. So that's a wee roundup of the stuff that I take when I go cycling abroad. I hope it was handy if you happen to be planning to do that, or maybe you've been before and there was maybe something you never thought of. If there's something I forgot, let me know in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe.